So, Nevertheless to Everness just started a new beta today, and for those of you who are asking, unfortunately, it's a Chinese only test, which means that you cannot download or get into this test right now. Now, when we do get information about a beta test that everyone can actually play, I will let you guys know on this channel. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and also follow me on Twitter, because that's where you get that information firsthand before I actually make the video on YouTube. With this beta test, we've gotten some insight into what we'll get in the game. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the combat system of the game, explain how it works, and also showcase some of the characters that we actually have some of their gameplay of, and let you guys actually formulate your own thoughts about these different characters. So with that said, let's get straight into the video. Now, if you've played Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact, you won't have a lot of problems getting adjusted to NTE. This game also follows a very similar layout in the ways that things are done combat-wise. So we have a normal attack for every single character, we have one skill, and we have one ultimate for every single character. Some of the characters that are in the game currently have different versions of their hold skill. For example, Mint has her regular tap, and then she has the hold, which allows her to enter this whirlwind state and deal damage to other enemies around. Every character in the game also has an element, and currently there are 6 elements in the game. Now, because this is a Chinese test, I don't know the official names of all the elements that have been presented in the game, but I can make some speculations on what they are. I think that we have a light element, a wind element, a flame element, an ice element, and a darkness element. Now the 6th element, this one here, is the one that I actually don't know what it is. I want to think it's something like a havoc element, but then that would be a dark element, so I have really no idea what it could be. It could also be a lightning element or something like that. If we actually manage to get some information about this, I will let you guys know. But then along with the elements, we also do get elemental reactions that happen in this game. Now the elemental reactions in this game don't happen in the same way that Genshin would. In Genshin Impact, all of your character's skills and sometimes their regular attacks, if they're a catalyst character, will be able to inflict an element upon an enemy, and then all you have to do is switch out to another character and use their own element to cause an elemental reaction. In this game, the elemental system sort of mixes in what Wuthering Waves does with what Genshin Impact does. So whenever you're fighting, you will notice that your character icons will start to flash. If you switch to a character of a different element, you will get a different kind of reaction. Now, because I didn't get access to this test, I don't know what all the reactions are, but that's the general gist of it. Now, one example of this elemental reaction that we can actually see in the game is between Mint and the female MC that we have in the game. The female MC is a light character and Mint is a wind character. Whenever the two of them actually do their elemental reaction, you notice this flower here that pops up, and the flower petals, after a little bit of time, actually fly off and hit the enemies, and they actually deal damage to the enemies. So this is an example of the elemental reactions that we actually have in the game. Another example of an elemental reaction that we have in the game is between this guy and Nanoli. At first, I was very confused about this reaction because it's not very clear what it does, but if you notice, after the two of them swap in, the damage that they do now has 2 colors on it, which probably tells us that they're dealing 2 types of elemental damage at the same time. Now, when we do get full information about this, I will definitely make a video letting you guys know. And by the way, if you have any questions so far about the elemental system or the combat system or anything like that, or even if you have a suggestion that you would like to give to the devs, please let me know down in the comments below, and hopefully the devs will be able to see it and they'll be able to get a gauge of what it is that people want from the game. Now, when it comes to the weapons, from what I've seen in the game, most characters don't actually equip swords and guns and the rest of them. It's sort of similar to what we have in Zenless Zone Zero, where we have these things here and we equip them to the character in order to be able to either buff their damage or do something else. But it's not really you switching out the weapon, which I guess is fine. As of right now, I'm not clear on whether characters are specifically limited to any kinds of weapons or anything like that. If they're going to go the Zenless Zone Zero route, then probably there might be special weapons that are only designed for special characters, but for what the names of those weapons might be, we will have to wait and see. Now, the next thing that we need to talk about is the artifact or the gearing system in the game. Now, it's not something I fully understand. I was on Melu's stream and he was sort of explaining this. So this thing that you can see here is basically what the gearing system looks like. So let me break it down as simply as I possibly can. At the bottom, you can see that round thing there. It has two different things that you can put in it. These are the main stats that can be on your character, and you can have things like crit rate, crit damage on this slot. Okay, now when you enter the Tetris screen itself, you can notice that we have different blocks on the side, and you have to combine these blocks in order to be able to equip different stats to characters. Now you also notice that for the main stats, it normally has the symbol of the element of the character, which means that you probably can't carry any single piece and just put onto a character. You will probably want to put on a piece that will benefit the character's element more. Like I said, I don't have details, so it's very difficult for me right now to actually fully speculate on it, but hopefully soon enough we'll get some more exposition, or maybe we'll even get a test that we can run on our own. Now, for substats in the game, it seems like you can get things like attack and HP. I don't know about defense percentage, but essentially you do not get attack, HP, and maybe defense percent in your main stats. You can only probably get things like attack, crit rate, crit damage, elemental damage in your main stats. For the other substats, you will not be getting those things. Oh yes, that reminds me. Every single substat in the game, so everything within the screen, will always have attack and HP in them. And then you will have 4 other substats that you will probably get at random. But every single one of them will always have attack and HP on them, which probably means you won't have to worry about getting attack on your characters. Now, currently, the game only has 4 characters in a team, and I think that's everything that I noticed about the combat system in the game so far. So, I'm going to end off the video here. Please leave any questions that you have down in the comments below, and I'll try to respond to as many of them as I possibly can. Also, make sure to join my hideout on Discord, subscribe to the channel for Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, Azure Premilia, Ananta or Project Mugen, news videos, challenge videos, and some other kinds of videos that I'll try from time to time. Also follow me on Twitter, that's where I'll give you real-time updates on all of the news that are coming out for all of these games before I even make them as YouTube videos. And with all of that said, thank you all so much for watching. I'll leave you guys with some gameplay of NTE that you guys can enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.